Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we will be seeing the activities that can enhance each area of development that we have already discussed. We have discussed about like 6 areas of development, that was language development, cognitive development, gross motor development, fine motor development, self-help and social emotional development. So today we will be seeing a few activities which we can incorporate to enhance these all skills individually. Now for language development, what are the activities that we can include in a child's routine or include in a child's activity time? So for language, we can have a small conversation with the child. It could be anything. It could be just you can just pick up a toy, just ask to describe that toy, or just sing a song with your child, or just have a rhyme with your child, or just give a topic to your child and let your child express himself or herself, and this is how the language will be built. You can also ask small questions for which the child will reply in small sentences, through which again the language is getting developed. The more the conversation, two-way conversation, the more easily the child will understand the language, and it will be very easy for the child to go further and communicate in that language. You can also give like small instructions to your child. Please go and get your book. Instead of just pointing at the book and asking the child to get it, it would be great if you just give the commands. Please, can you get me the book? Can you please get me the glass? And the other thing that you can do is a storytelling session. Reading story to young children is really very helpful. That also builds their vocabulary. They will be able to express in different tones because you would be narrating the story using different expressions and everything. So from an early age, the child will also learn different voice modulations. The child will understand how to narrate a story, and any which ways at this particular age, at the younger age, reading story to a child is very helpful and very important in a child's life. Now going further, let us discuss cognitive skills. Now for cognitive skills, you can have a rhyme session, a sing along session where you would sing a rhyme, or you would sing a song, or you would play a song for your child and the child will repeat that. So what is happening over here when the child is listening and then retaining that thing in his or her mind, and then slowly and gradually the child will memorize and identify the song. So there would be instance where you would just play the song, and the child, with the starting rhythm, the beginning rhythm of the song, the child will be able to understand which rhyme or which song it is. So such a child has memorized that thing, so that is registered in his or her mind. So this is a very good brain development activity also. The other activity that you would incorporate for cognitive skill is like listening to different sounds. Now what is different sounds? It could be anything. It could be just a running tap. The child is able to hear the sound that comes when the water is flowing through the tap. It could be just a car horn, or it could be just you use a plate and a spoon. Slowly and gradually, when you keep on practicing, when the child is listening to these things daily, the child is again memorizing, and then slowly the child will be able to identify the sounds even if the child is not seeing that particular object. So again, the cognitive skills are getting developed, the memory is getting developed. Now under cognitive, the letters, the numbers, the color, shape, everything comes. So for letters, you can actually like read books, show puzzles, like play puzzles, picture and letter puzzle with them, or you can simply play a game where you write each letter, all the 26 letters, in small chits and put it up around the house using a tape, and then you can ask your child to go and search each individual letter in the correct sequence. Once a child gets all the letters, ask them to arrange it in the correct sequence. This is a very good idea to remember the correct sequence of the letters. Same you can do with the numbers also. You can show them the number blocks. The number counting again can be done using blocks, the Lego blocks or the building blocks. You can use number puzzles, or you can basically just write numbers individually on small chits. You can use your cutlery for this item, for this activity. You can ask children to count the cutlery or whatever item you're giving, whatever concrete object you're giving to the child. You can ask the child to count those many objects. For example, if you're showing number 5 to your child, ask your child to pick up 5 objects and place it against number 5. So and so further. You can show each number and the child will do the counting, recognize the number and do the quantitative counting over here. As I said, under this, the shapes, the colors, everything will come. Now for these activities, you can very simply keep on doing this activities for number, shapes. So whenever you all are walking down the street also, if you see a red color bus, that particular time you can ask your child which color is that. Or if you see a blue color ball, you can ask the color, you can ask the shape over there. So the child is learning, but in a fun way. The child is not basically sitting at one place and you are teaching that this is called a circle, this is called a square. The child is still learning, but in a fun way. This way the child will also enjoy learning what activities you are taking with them. Next, what you can do is like offer choices. At this age, the early years, you can just give them choices of the clothes that the child wants to wear. You can give them like 2 options, a pink color frock and a brown color frock. The child will basically just choose what the child wants to wear. By this, the child is getting independent. The child is able to do selection, take a decision which is going to affect the entire day of the child. The other thing, what during playtime also you can incorporate this activity. You can like give 3 options or 4 options to your child of toys. Which toy do you want to play right now? So choices are very important at early age also. As I said, they make the child confident, they make the child independent, and they learn how to take small decisions, and then going further, this will help them to take big decisions in their life. So giving choices is again very important in a child's life. Next comes asking question to your child. Again, this is correlating to the cognitive skill itself. It is again important to ask questions to your child. We at times think that these children at this young age, they won't be able to make proper decisions, but at times we don't allow them to answer, give a proper reply, or we don't give them to make a selection. But when you're giving them questions, when you're posing questions to them, it's basically simple activities. While playing, you can do that. When the child has completed the playtime, you can just ask the child to first go and pick up all the toys. Ask which toy the child wants to pick up first. How will the child complete the picking up task? How will the child tidy up the room? And this slowly and gradually is going to help in the problem solving. Now with puzzles and everything, at times it happens that we give the jigsaw puzzle or any kind of puzzle to the child. Maybe it could be two pieces puzzle, 3 pieces puzzle. We give the child to solve the puzzle, but then when we see that the child is struggling, we basically don't give them a chance to understand how to fix that puzzle. Now here it happens that when we are not giving them chance and when we are going immediately and helping the child is not able to think how to solve that puzzle. So the problem solving skill is not getting developed over here, because we are giving them the ready-made answers over here. We are giving them everything ready over here. So the problem solving skill is not getting developed. Rather, let the child do it 3-4 times. Let the child solve the puzzles 3 to 4 times. Still, if you find that the child is not able to solve that puzzle, you can just ask the child, do you need my help? and if the child says yes, you can please help me, that time just start and show the child how to do it. And the second step, ask the child to do it after you. Once you show the child how to solve the puzzle, after that let your child again complete that puzzle on him by himself. So the problem solving skill is getting developed over here. Next, I would suggest take your child along when you are going for some kind of shopping. It could be just as simple as grocery shopping, or even if you go to vegetable market, take the child along with you. Initially, maybe the child may not enjoy that experience, but then slowly and gradually, the child will be curious to know certain things over there. It could be anything. It could be as simple as a new fruit or vegetable that the child sees. The child's curiosity is getting built over here. The child may start asking questions over here, and this way we are helping them to learn new things, to explore hands-on activities with him. It's basically the child is seeing, the child is touching that fruit or vegetable over there, the child is feeling, the child is seeing the texture of that one particular thing over there. So this is basically hands-on experience that the child gets, and the child will develop more interest in that particular thing. Incorporate games in a child's life. It could be as simple as a peekaboo game or a blindfold game where one person is blindfolded and maybe the child is blindfolded and you are playing with the child. This is again, the child is trying to get independent over here. So the child is also learning to take care of himself or herself over here. The child gross motor skills are getting developed over here. Or as simple as just building blocks. It can be a group activity or board games. When the child is little older to understand simple board games, you can incorporate board games also with the child. Next, let us discuss activities which will help to build a gross motor skills. Now, gross motor skills are the entire body muscles that are getting developed. For these things, for this gross motor activities, you can play simple activities. You can just play music, let the child dance. The entire body muscles are getting built only by dancing. Or you can have obstacle courses by creating obstacles by using pillows, as simple as that. Everyone has pillows at home. Or you can just tape satin ribbons across two walls, let the child go through that. These are very simple activities for which we really don't need much of things at home. You can then give them large drawing sheets. Let the child just scribble in the initial days, where the child is using the entire body movement. You can give them like big large sheets. Let the child do whatever the child is willing to do. You can also stick up those large sheets on the wall and let the child just use paints also. If you want, you can give them. Let the child just express his creativity over there without giving any instructions. Again, the child is thinking over here. So again, indirectly the cognitive skills are getting developed over here. Then you can just have a running race kind of activity or hopping activities. There are many activities which this age group can actually do. Now, activities which would build the fine motor skills. As I told you in the last video, that the fine motor skills are the small muscles of the hand, fingers, thumb, everything. For such activities, you can just give them threading beads, or you can give them buttoning, zipping. You can just give a jacket. The child may just zip and unzip the jacket zip. You can give them the buttons. Simple buttons can be given. The simple shirt can be given for such activities. Then you can also give pipe cleaners or simple straws, the drinking straws that we have, which the child will just put in the bottles. Or you can also use the small plastic baskets that we have, or the small shopping bags that we get, the plastic ones, and the child may weave ribbons inside that. You can just tie a ribbon end at one end, and the child will just start weaving. It won't be in a correct sequence, but the child is still trying to weave, and the muscles of the fingers and the thumb and the hand is getting developed through activities. The pipe cleaners can also be given to just twist. The pipe cleaners are very flexible. Let the child create whatever the child wants to create with the pipe cleaners. As it is very flexible, the child can create anything. Again, the creativity is also getting developed over here. So these are very basic activities which you can use and do at home. As simple as that. Everyone has coins at home. You can give coins to your child. Let the child pick up the coin, put it in another container. The same goes with the pulses and everything. Do segregation with the pulses. Mix 2 to 3 pulses together. If you are having 3 pulses together, give them 3 different containers. Let the child pick up and put each pulse in a different container. So they are doing segregation. They would learn colors over here. Their fine muscles are getting built over here. So there are many activities which can be done using the things that are easily available at home. Now the self-help skills are the skills that are used, that are needed in our day-to-day life. It could be as simple as brushing teeth, washing hands, or again buttoning, zipping. Could be very simple activities. Then the child, initially maybe the child is not able to undress and dress himself or herself, which slowly and gradually the child will be able to do. Maybe initially the child will not be able to close the tap properly, but then again the child is learning to do that, and through this again the child is also learning the importance of saving water. That the child, while doing such activities, you can talk to the child that we are not supposed to waste water. There are many people, those who are not fortunate to get water for basic things also. So you are teaching other moral things also to your child. The other activities that could be just as simple as eating something by himself or herself. Maybe initially the child may spill the food. That is completely fine. But let the child give it a try. Let the child be independent. The child will really feel very proud when he or she is doing something on their own. It is a very proud moment for them. So let them do it. They might spill the food. It is completely okay. They will do that for 2 days, 3 days. But on the 4th day, they will learn. They will understand how they are supposed to pick up the food, how they are supposed to put it in their mouth. And this is how they learn self-help skills. The last area of development that we would be discussing is the social emotional development. As we all know that social emotional development is a way where a child is learning to build relationship, be it his or her peers or with any adult around. The simplest thing that a child can do over here, we can incorporate, we can teach the children is ball game, where the children are either playing in small group or the children are playing in large group, and they are here learning to wait for their turn. They are here learning how to build relationships over there. So if they are playing in a large group, the child knows that if I have passed the ball right now, before I get my chance, the second chance, I need to wait for my turn because my other friends also needs to get their chance. So the child is learning patience over here. The child is learning to wait. So these are like, this is like very simple activity which can be incorporated in a day-to-day life. The next activity that can be done is role play. Children like to enact. Now through role play, the children are basically learning social behavior. They are learning about rules. They are learning about expectations, because when they are in a big group, they need to follow certain rules for any activity. So here they are learning all those things. And also children like to pretend about the things that they already know. It could be very simple thing like making something or cooking something or playing something or playing in a group. They enjoy doing such activities. Here again the social skills are getting developed over here. So role play is very beneficial at a younger age for children. The next thing which you can have is like story sessions. Narrating story is building their cognitive skills, but along with that, the child is also learning to have social emotional benefits. The child will benefit through story sessions and everything, because usually at this age we narrate them stories which has values, which has morals, or some kind of learning for the children. So the children are learning the social emotional things from that. It could be very simple, a story like the Thirsty Crow, a very simple story which everyone might have heard in their childhood. Here the child is learning that we should never give up, we should always keep on trying. So the child is learning that we need to work hard if you want to get something. This is as simple as that. So story in a child's life is again very important. Then going further, you can use puppets. So the child is seeing the puppets and the child is understanding, yes, these are the characters in the story. The child will start developing, the child will start understanding the emotions of that particular puppet, whatever is being used. Through voice modulations and everything, slowly and gradually the children starts understanding the emotions, what the narrator has to say. So voice modulation is again very important. Just narrating a story, and narrating a story using voice modulation is really going to benefit a lot to the children. Next, I would say, is playing games. Games can be family games, games can be that children play with their peers. It is a way where the child will again learn to wait for their own turn, that is experience taking turns. They also learn the concept of winning and losing over here. They understand we need to incorporate this thing in child's mind, that it is not always only about winning something. We also need to understand that participation is very important in any of the activity. Winning and losing is the secondary thing, but through games the children start understanding that yes, winning and losing is part of the game that they are playing. Through games the children, as I said, they start to take turns, they understand, they learn how to play cooperatively with their peers or family members who are there. So it's really very important for a child to have games in their routine. Through games and sports, children also understand that if they are playing a group activity, a group game, they also understand that their behavior, their actions are going to impact the entire team. So they learn the team building activities over here. They understand that we need to cooperate each other when we are into a team. The social emotional bonding is getting developed over here, because if out of 10, if one player is not playing properly, the entire team is going to suffer. So here the child starts understanding that if I don't play properly, if I am not giving my 100%, my entire team is going to suffer because of me. So they learn how to play together, they learn to play in a big group setting also. So this was all about the activities that can be incorporated for each learning areas that we have discussed. I hope this would really help you. If you have any queries, you can just post your queries in the comment section and I would be really happy to help you further. So this was all about the different activities. This is all for today. Signing off. You can like and share and subscribe to my channel. Pass on the channel link to your friends and families, and see you all soon. Thank you.